Okay, new and improved. I'm going to wait for just one little minute to make sure everybody comes over here. I so apologize. I always feel like I check that, but apparently I don't. So, it happens to the best of us. We're just going to say that and move on. So I am so sorry for that. Let me pull this up. And I was thinking that something must have been wrong with my computer because I had like 7 people on here, and I'm not saying, oh, I have to have more than 7 people watching me, but I was like, that's awfully low, and what is everyone doing? So, okay, apologies. Oh my gosh. Well, didn't I say at the beginning of this that this has kind of been a crazy week, right? Yes. So, no different. Oh my gosh. Yes, Jill, get in here. Okay. Thank you, Megan. Thanks for watching out for me. Some people, if you are friends, both friends on my regular page and on my business page, you don't really know the difference, I don't think. So, I know I don't always watch for that. Okay. I will not rewind and tell you everything I've already said. We're just going to keep launching into the card. So we're going to use the beautiful Come Together. It's called Come Together, not Come Together. See what Stampin' Up! Was trying to be funny there. And, or a little play on words. Hello, ladies. So we're going to use this beautiful paper. And Jen used this paper last night as well. And it's just a beautiful, absolutely beautiful set of fall papers. I'm going to read you some of the colors that are in here. Let's see. Cajun Craze, Early Espresso, Mary Merlot, Mint Macaron, Pear Pizzazz, Pretty Peacock, and Whisper White. So, of course, they're gorgeous, and they have a great selection of like prints. They have some that look woven, right? This looks woven with polka dots on it. This fabulous wood grain. We all love the wood grain. And this kind of a calico print, which I'll be honest, it's not my thing. But you know what's really cool about it is that it's wood grain on the other side. So sometimes you have a hard time choosing between the patterns on the paper because both sides are so beautiful. I'm not going to have a hard time choosing. That's all going to be wood grain. So I have no hard choices there. Ooh, look at this one. That's really pretty with the pumpkins on the back. And this is a 12 by 12 pack of paper, but I really do better when I cut my paper down into 4 by 6. And so look at these beautiful feathers. And there are feather elements in this suite. So make sure you don't miss those. I think it's a pack of feathers and like a little wood cut, but they're really pretty. This one's great. I just can't get enough of Pretty Peacock right now. I think all of you feel the same way, don't you? Yeah, we all love Pretty Peacock. What's the other side of this one? Oh, that's going to be kind of difficult. I love that lined paper. That's really different, isn't it? This guy is fantastic. And then we love a gingham. We love a gingham. Oh, and the other side's beautiful too. So that will be a hard selection. Hello, everybody. Hello. If you are just coming in, I really wasn't 18 minutes late. I went live over on my personal page. So I apologize, but we're all good now. We're all here now, ready to do some crafting with Harvest Hellos and the coordinating punch. And let's just think about fall, shall we? Let's think about crisp mornings and getting dark early and starting to have a fire outside, getting a really nice jacket out and wearing it, or your favorite pair of pajamas, and then pumpkin everything, pumpkin cards, pumpkin lattes, pumpkin cake. I made some pumpkin cookies this weekend. That probably wasn't the best idea, but man, they were tasty. Okay, so here's the first card. Like I was saying, we are using, and hello everybody. Hi Sandy, Amy. We're using the printed paper from Come To Gather, as well as a pretty peacock card base, mint macaron card insert, and a little card front that I used in the basket weave embossing folder. And then 2 little pumpkins. And instead of using the stem from the stamp set, I thought I'd be clever, and I cut little pieces of the ribbon. So this is the scalloped in color ribbon, and if you don't have this, I think you should order it to your, or you should put it on your next order for sure. It is so fun. So it's got like a linen strip in the middle, and then the in colors are on the outside. And this comes in every in color, so that's pretty peacock. And this one is terracotta tile. They are perfect for fall. Aren't they fabulous? So anyway, and I was looking for something that would make it's kind of an interesting little pumpkin stem. And so I just cut a little bit of the scallop off and then tucked it under my card. So I hope you like that. And then these, of course, are the in color faceted gems, and they come in a pack, a variety pack with the 5 colors, and they're fantastic. And I've bought several packages of them myself already, just for my own use. So, okay, we're going to make this card, but we're going to switch up the colors because why not? We can. And so many beautiful colors came in that DSP that I thought we should probably switch it up. Now, you've got Tango in the background. I don't know what he's barking at, but I'm sure it's very important. Oh, nice. Virginia shows signs of fall today, mid-60s to 80s. Cappy, you know what? We're coming that way too. In fact, it was over 90 here today. And then supposedly by Sunday, it's supposed to be low 70s. And I couldn't be happier. Like, come along, fall. Give me a nice little chilly hug. I like it cold. Okay, if I could live somewhere that was perpetual fall, I'd be very happy. So we've got our really cool little color palette here, which is so easy because, as you know, Stampin' Up! Coordinates everything for us, so we don't have to do it. I look like a superstar, and all I really did was I took the colors from the Come To Gather suite. Okay, so the Mary Merlot, Cajun Craze, and then just took a spin off of that. And I knew that the base in a lot of these colors was Whisper White, so I just went with Whisper White, right? And so I've got some scraps of white, and I've got a piece that we can emboss. I think we're going to use a different embossing folder. So why don't we start by stamping these cutest pumpkins in the world. And they are the cutest pumpkins. I can't wait to get my hand on some real pumpkins. You know, I haven't done pumpkins for a couple of years, but I am just getting a new deck built in front of my house, and it's going to be rather large. And it's really going to be a whole new entrance into my house. And I can't wait to make a bunch of pumpkins and put it out there. And if kids want to try and come and smash them, I am not going to be very nice. I'll have to run those kids off. I'm that old lady now, you know. Get off my lawn. Get away from my pumpkins. Let's see. Now, what color? I was thinking these are going to be Mary Merlot pumpkins, because we're going to be sitting up on the Cajun Craze. Yeah, Mary Merlot. Well, I don't know if they can be that. They're going to have to be Cajun Craze because I don't have a Mary Merlot. I don't have Mary Merlot blends. Yeah, I don't think the blends are in that. That's all right. Again, we can switch it up really easily because all the colors are coordinated for us. So I am going to stamp this in terracotta tile as well. I'm going to stamp one on white and color it, and then I'm going to stamp one on terracotta tile and punch it out, just for a little variation. Hello from Oregon. Hi, Betty. I love Oregon. not just because you're my neighbor, but because it's a beautiful state. Hope you're having a great night tonight. And you can all certainly pop on here and just tell me how much, or if you like fall. I bet there are some people who don't like fall. You know what? I have a couple of friends at work who just love the summer so much that they're kind of sad when it comes. And you know what I tell them? I tell them, just, you had your time, now it's my time. It's my time for a nice long fall. Okay, so I've stamped this in terracotta tile, just a little different. Let's see. I don't want to color it with Cajun Craze, so I was getting confused. Let me see. Where are you? Oh, maybe we don't have that color either. Do we have Cajun Craze blends? Am I losing my mind? Oh, here we go. I got it. Sorry. Okay. Cajun Craze. Just color, Lisa. Just tell me to just color this thing. Oh gosh, Jen, I can only imagine in Canada. I'm sure fall is stunning. I know you get your fair share of winter, but I'm sure that it's really pretty up there this time of year. Okay, so I'm not using any special techniques. I will show you some pumpkins that I colored with the color Pumpkin Pie, so original. And I actually added a little bit of yellow base, and I thought those looked really fun. But when I tried that with these other colors, they just came out really muddy. So we're not going to do that. We are just going to go with the regular color. And yes, my coloring style is a little weird right now. But you know what? The blends are so forgiving that it doesn't matter, because once it dries, you don't see all these brush strokes, which is one reason why we love the blend so much, right? Because it kind of covers up all of our little handiwork. And then I just go over it once more in the middle, and I feel like that's good. You don't want to color it, you don't want to over color it, because these do, you know, absorb. And always make sure that when you're using the blends that you're coloring on something that you don't care if the color bleeds through. And then I'm going to go over the lines that were in the pumpkin. Right? And I'm kind of making up some lines there as I go. So we have a happy little pumpkin. And then, like I said, it just gets punched out right here. Now that is going to, it's also going to cut out the stem and the leaf at the same time, but it's not that much waste. But if you were cutting out a lot of these, you could put it on your Stamparatus and line, you know, make a template using this, and then line the stamps up on the Stamparatus. And you could stamp all through pieces and punch them all out at the same time. So that's a really good way to make multiples, is to use a template, or to make a template from your punches or your dies. And we can do a video on that some other time. I think I've done it on some of my videos. I just don't remember which ones. But we're just making a few cards tonight, so we're just going to go with the singleton method. Okay. So they all turned out kind of different. Now, one thing I did on this one that I really liked was, I don't know if you can see it, but I sprayed this colored pumpkin with a mixture of alcohol and champagne mist. And the champagne mist is in the annual catalog towards the back. It looks like this, all-purpose ink. So you can put it in our spritzer with really, it's alcohol, it's mostly alcohol with like 1 or 2 drops of the champagne mist, okay? And I am gonna take this, and I'm not gonna spray it right here. Well, let's see, I can, because here's one handy thing you can do when you have a spare paper pumpkin box. A lot of you know this, is you can use it to spray things on your desk without getting back spray on everything else. So I'm just gonna spray it lightly. And then, because this paper has been kind of saturated, right, with spritz and blends, I'm going to hit it with the heat tool really quickly. And it won't be very long. Otherwise, I wouldn't do that online because I know it's not a very nice noise, is it? Okay. Talk amongst yourselves for about 10 seconds. All right, so that gives you a nice overall, really fine mist. I don't know, is the camera picking this up? It gives you a really fine mist of sparkle. You could also use the Wink of Stella pen. You know, it looks slightly different, but still fun. So, nothing wrong with a little Wink of Stella. I always seem to find a use for it. But anyway, that's a really fun thing to do with the champagne mist. And like I told you, this little container lasts so long because you're really just using like 1 or 2 drops at a time. Okay, so it's a really fun thing to buy and have on hand for a metallic, as well as in the annual catalog. You will hear me say that a lot tonight, by the way. So, you know, sorry in advance. We also have these metallic inks that are in gold, silver, and copper. And you can buy them in ink pad or re-inker. And oh, I love them. They're so fun. So I highly recommend them. In fact, I had these two. Because, you know, even though I'm a demonstrator, I try not to buy every single thing in the catalog. But I was like, okay, you can have those too. And then, of course, I had a project. And I really needed the gold. And I was like, listen, girl, go ahead and get it. So now we have all 3. We have all 3 at the Stamping Zoo. That makes me really happy. Okay, so we have our little pumpkins. Now, the other thing that we are going to stamp is we're going to have a sentiment, but I think I'm going to cut it out this time from, this is also in the annual catalog. It's the Well Wishes or Well Said die set. I can't remember, but it has a huge stamp set that goes with it too. It's a little bit of a stamping investment, but I highly recommend it. Especially if you have like a 50% off product, definitely get this set because it has just about every sentiment that you could want. The sizes of these words are great. And then plus the words you get like these 3 little standing, greenery. And I have that here, just happen to have it. I punched it out in vellum. So you could use that on any kind of a card. And it has some other things, a little bird, scrolly, flowers and stuff. Anyway, take a look at it for sure. Well Said and Well Wishes. They're excellent. So we are going to take, I'm going to make this one a thanks card too because I need a couple thank you cards. I wonder if that's like, I know I send out a lot of thank you cards. It might be the most popular card I send out. And that's okay by me. Then we are also going to, so I used basket weave here, but instead of basket weave on this one, I thought we would mix it up a tiny bit and use the corrugated 3D because that really, I think it's going to really go with this whole theme as well. And so I have a little piece of paper to do that on. And you can spritz this with water. We're not going to. I think it's just fine without for our use right here. And so it has this handy line on it. Now this is the older version, but I believe they look just the same, except the newer version's not going to say Sizzix on it. That's it. And they are a little, the dimensions are different, so the way that you put them into your die cutter is different. But we're going to use this one and see how we like it. And you know what? If we don't like it, we can choose something else. That's the fun thing with this stuff, isn't it? So nice. Okay, now let me see. I got to get my sandwich. Not a sandwich you eat, you know. Now it needs 3D shim, metal shim, a clear plate. Okay. I need my metal shim. I am using right now, I use a Gemini Junior. All of these things go in there just fine. I also have Big Shots that we use at class, and they work fine as well. So I just go back and forth on things. But that's what you'll hear in the background is a little Gemini Junior action here. Let's see. So pumpkin flavored drinks. Yay or nay, everybody? What do you think? Do you like pumpkin flavor or not like pumpkin flavor? I am a pumpkin flavored coffee lover for sure. But some people don't like that. I can't believe it, but some people don't. Oh, Jen loves it, I think. If that's what we're talking about, Jen loves it. Excellent. Okay, there's our little corrugated piece. So adorable. And then I'm going to cut the word thanks out. And let's see, do we need anything else? No, I guess not. This is going to come together pretty slick. Who else likes pumpkin stuff? Oh, Maria. Yeah, I take it you don't like it, or do you like it like with brandy or something like that in it? Oh, man. Okay, we will just go ahead. Well, you know what? I want the word in Mary Merlot. I think that's too much Cajun craze. So, sorry, but I need a little touch of Mary Merlot. I love Mary Merlot. In fact, this is one of my favorite colors to get my nails done. So I can't wait until, I usually don't do it in the summer because it looks a little macabre. But I am free to use all these dark colors now. I'm so excited. I can't wait. You're an apple cider kind of girl. You know what? Nothing wrong with apple cider. Do you like hard cider, Amy, or just regular? Just regular non-alcoholic. I don't drink a lot, but I do like a hard cider now and then. Very tasty. Okay, here's our little thanks. So cute. And the only hard part about the well wishes is trying to read everything backwards. But other than that, it just couldn't be easier. And I find that once I get it out, then I'll have it out now for 2 weeks. Oh, you made pumpkin bars? Happy. Yum! Not pumpkin flavored beverages. Okay. Other pumpkin flavors, like cookies and pumpkin roll. Well, yeah, that sounds good. Very nice ideas, Sandy. Okay, so here's our little thanks, and you can pop that out really quickly with your take your pick tool. Just comes right out of there. It almost pops out by itself, but that one needed a little bit of help. Oh gosh, I love these rich colors of fall. Okay, so now I need to put this die away, or you know what? Sometimes I have to look. I have to look for a long while to find these things. I know you all know what I'm talking about. Oh, and they're usually on the back of some sort of metallic or some sort of magnetic plate, right? Pumpkin is a vegetable, goes well with a good roast. Hey, Megan, you make a good point. I have had like a stew made in a pumpkin before. My book club, one of the ladies in my book club made it. And at first I was like, ooh, okay. And it was actually really tasty. And of course it's beautiful. What a gorgeous serving vessel. A big roasted pumpkin. Wow, so pretty. Okay, we're gonna start by adding, oh goodness, we're having thunder here. They said we were gonna have thunder, and no lie. Hope the dogs don't start barking their heads off. My last dog this was several years ago, but my last dog was a Doberman, and he would hide in the tub. Okay, 70-pound Doberman hiding in the tub. Now I have Havanese, as most of you know. The heaviest one weighs 18 pounds. And when it starts storming, they bark. They are not a bit scared. They're like, get out of here. So funny, isn't it? The just personalities of dogs doesn't really have a thing to do with their size. A lot like people. Okay, so I'm gonna pop this up on Whisper White. I really like to have an extra layer because if you kind of see here, especially with this color, it is not going to pop. Now it's tonal and it's very beautiful, but when we pop it up on the white, even this is like only 1/8 of an inch. It's just a sliver, but it's just enough to really bring the colors out, I think. That's my story anyway. I'm sticking to it. So we're going to put this on the front, and this will be a blog post. So if you do like the cards and you want to have the measurements, I'll be posting that probably this weekend, no later than this weekend. And then you can recreate them for yourself. You can call them your own. Your 100-pound German Shepherd gets in the tub. What is it, Sue? It's like the larger the dog. You know what? My dog was also really scared when I had a satellite dish put on the house. In fact, I had to have them come move the satellite dish to the side of the house. And I was just trying to decide what. The people were like, what? And they were like, no. Well, first they laughed, of course. And then they were like, well, we're not going to do it. We'll charge you again. And I go, oh, okay, you can come get it. I'm going to cancel it. And they go, all right, we'll come move it. Nobody was going to put my baby in a corner. My baby Max. That was his name, Max. And you know what? If he didn't like it, I was getting rid of it. So we put it on the side of the house, and then we were both happy. Now, I told you that I kept my papers 4x6, right? So since I did the front a little shorter than that, I had this little scrap. But I'm certainly not going to let this go to waste. I'm going to put it right on the inside, and I just made sure that my measurements were the same. And then just put it right on the inside. And I even like to give a little strip of white on the left there. Make it your own, do what you want. So there, we already have our card coming together so quickly. Hello, Elizabeth, so nice to see you. Now I'm going to use tear and tape on this. I find that when you have a heavily embossed image like this, it's just better to play it safe and use our strongest adhesive, which is the tear and tape. And I do love it so. It is so handy. And true to its word, you just tear it with your hand. Okay, and then I'm going to pop that off with, I don't want to rub this on there so hard because I'll ruin all my corrugated, my 3D image here. But it's sticking down enough to get the job done here. Now, Elizabeth, we are just trying to decide, or we're talking about pumpkins. Love or hate pumpkin food and pumpkin flavored drinks. I am in the love category for both. Tango, you're fine. Yeah, they're getting a little, okay. Oh, this looks a little short, and I'll tell you why. Because I'm glad this happened, actually. It's fine on my paper, but I'm going to bring it up here and show you. So do you see this is a little short? And I bet most of you know why it's a little short. It's a little bit short because when I put this in the 3D image, or when I put this in the 3D corrugated folder, when it made the image, it like shrunk the length of the paper. So when you are going to do this for your own, why don't you make it, quite a bit longer, 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch longer. And then once you run it through the corrugator, trim it down. So, oh my gosh, Jen, that's hilarious. So I didn't have all that shrinkage, if you will, when I made this piece. But with the corrugated 3D folder, I could see how it really scrunched up the paper. So like the higher the profile of the embossing folder, the more that's going to happen. But it's fine. To the naked eye, to the non-card maker, they're never going to see that, okay? So, Okay, Tango, you're fine. Oh my gosh. I told you, you guys, they're going to scare the storm away. Tango, you're fine. Scare the storm away. we're going to use our burlap trim. Also, a must-have. You've got to have this for your fall cards, don't you? Yeah, it's in the annual catalog. We love it. It carried over, and you also get 10 yards of this. Okay, so it's called burlap ribbon. And just like I made the little pumpkin, just like I made the little stems up here, I'm going to make stems out of the burlap because they're going to totally fit. They're going to totally fit with the decor. And so all I did was I cut a little short piece of the ribbon into 3 pieces, you know, just a little, what do I want to say, stem sized. And I'm going to put these on the back of the pumpkin again with the tear and tape because they're really short, and I just need, it's so textural that mono or snail is not really going to do it. Snail might do it, but we're going to just make sure that it stays there. It's kind of falling apart, but that's okay. I'm going to just turn this over and size it up. Oh gosh. Okay, that one just kind of fell apart. You got to be careful with them. I want to see like how long I want them. And then really I'm just going to turn this over, okay, and put a little piece of tear and tape on it. And then I'm not going to take the backing off. That's fine the way it is. And then look at our little pumpkin. Is that great? I think that makes probably a better stem even than the ribbon. Oh, and it really is going to show up on the card. Okay, let's see if I can get this other one on there without tearing it apart. Hey, Myrtle, thank you. Yeah, it is kind of cute, isn't it? Hey, thanks for sharing, Delinda. I appreciate that. We got to get the word out about these pumpkins, don't we? Like, get the word out. These pumpkins are so cute. Okay, so you're going to do the same one on this one that I colored. Just attach your little short stem. And so this one is our sparkly pumpkin with our little twine stem. Those are going to be fantastic. And then we will use a little bit of the ribbon. It's all right. Yes, you're okay. I had one little guy just sneak up on me. It was like, hey, Mom, just in case you didn't know, the house is falling down. It's all right, Cassie. Okay, I'm going to cut this one on the bias and just run it across the face of the corrugated piece like I did on the example that's above, just with different ribbon. And again, our tear and tape to the rescue. And I'm just going to run a couple of strips across this and put it down on the front. And oops, you just need to make sure that stays straight. It can kind of get a little skewed, and it's okay, but I like the lines to stay straight. It's going to kind of mimic the straight lines in the corrugated piece. So we like that. Okay, and then again, Take Your Pick tool is so invaluable. It's only $10. It's in the annual catalog. And did you know that you can also get a die brush to fit into your Take Your Pick tool also? Our Take Your Pick tool has its own accessories now. That's how fancy it is. Cash would feel better if he comes and says hi to all of us. Well, that would be fine if I had the camera pointed towards me, but he's not going to fit on the desk. Thank you though, Megan, because he probably would feel better. And so, oh, and you love my nail polish. Thank you, Amy. It's going away tomorrow, but it's been fun. I've enjoyed it. And okay, I'm just trying to figure out how I want this. It's a little wonky. It ended up being a little wonky, so I'm going to kind of make it be on purpose a little wonky. There. If it's going to be kind of wavy, I want it to be really wavy, not just a little wavy. Right? I can work with this. I can work with this. No problem. You know what, Elizabeth? And the start of it was even kind of funky because I started over on my personal page. So It's on there for the first 15 minutes or so. I'm sure somebody's going to watch that, just that alone, and be like, wow, that was a really quite a flop for a live. Megan was nice enough to tell me, hey, guess what? You're on your personal page. No one's going to watch you. Oh, so sad. I'm so happy everybody's here with me now talking about pumpkins and fall. And look, Southern Hemisphere people, I know it's not fall coming up for you, right? Or you're in fall, you've just left fall and you're going into winter, which is probably like my fall. I mean, who are we kidding? Oh gosh, now it's raining and beating on the side of the house. This is crazy. Boise people, if you're out there, I can't believe how fast this has come on. And I can see why the dogs are a little wigged out. Okay, where did my thanks go? Oh, brother. You know that thing's hiding around here somewhere. Oh, there it is. There it is. Tried to sneak off. So I want to kind of dry fit these before I put them down for good to figure out where I want things. Now, this is going to go up on dimensionals. I probably want that one like down here a little bit. And then why don't we put the thanks? Maybe right there, off to the side. That sounds kind of cute. Okay, it's going to be a little difficult to put the thanks onto, to glue it onto the burlap. I'm going to use our fine tip glue pen. The only thing you need to remember about this is that you have to put the lid back on it fairly quickly after you use it, or you'll just be buying a new fine tip glue pen. That's all you have to know. Did you get a lesson from Nancy on the proper dimensional use? Well, you know, I have watched Nancy a lot, and I think of Nancy as a friend. So, you know, she knows her way around a dimensional. So I'm just going to go with what she says. And you know what her motto is. Her motto is always like, when in doubt, use more. So I'll go with that. Okay, so we're going to put our thanks over on the left here. And I just hold it down for a few seconds. I think it doesn't have to be fully tacked down, you know, and it will adhere in enough places that that stays on there. Ends up being kind of cute. All right, glue pen back with the cover on. I always have to tell my stamp campers that. That's one of our, you know, heavy duty rules is you get that lid back on the fine tip glue pen. No, we don't really run a very tight ship for stamp camp. Everybody just has fun and does their thing. In fact, I'm having a stamp camp here on the 14th, a week from Saturday. So Boise peeps, please let me know if you're interested, if you'd like to be coming. And we will be using largely products from the new holiday catalog. Of course, we'll be bringing in lots of favorites from the annual catalog, because let's face it, the annual catalog is only a couple of months old. Oh my gosh. We haven't had rain here in so long, it almost sounds weird. You're okay, honey. It's all right. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the only thing we need to finish this off is some cute little faceted gems. I love the faceted gems. And these are in terracotta tile, which makes a beautiful complement to the Cajun Craze. It really, it's not the exact same color, but it's definitely a complementary color to it, isn't it? So cute. Oh my gosh. All right, I am so glad I have two beautiful little thank you cards. And so then remember, we just kind of decorated the inside. And oh, one final thing that I did, I don't do this all the time, but I do this sometimes to my cards, is I put a little tiny decoration on the back. Oh, here comes the lightning. Now I think I'm gonna have a dog that wants to sit on my lap. It's okay, honey. Gosh, I had no idea we were gonna go through this. I kind of did. I mean, they told us the weather was going to change drastically, but until it happens, you're kind of like, oh yeah, whatever. Okay, so I'm just taking Mary Merlot and this little pumpkin leaf, and I'm just putting it right in the back, just on the bottom. I think it's a fun little thing for your recipient to discover. Like, hey, there's even a stamp on the back. Isn't that fun? So, and it won't be something that they notice right away, but it's just kind of cute. And you have the stamps anyway. Why not use them? So I normally stamp a lot on the inside too, but for these, since I put the paper on the inside, I think I'll just leave them plain. Okay, how do we like those? They're okay? They're so cute. These pumpkins are so adorable. I highly recommend this stamp set and punch, and I think it's really economical. So let me show you another card. This was the first card that I made when I was just kind of, you know, kind of feeling out the products. These are the pumpkins that I colored. They're stamped in pumpkin pie, and then I colored the middle with So Saffron, and then colored over it with pumpkin pie. And I think it's kind of fun to give a two-tone color there. And you know, you can make pumpkins any color, because first of all, gourds are any color. And, you know, gourds are, I don't know, some kind of a relative to a pumpkin, I'm sure. And then with spray paint and decorating nowadays, pumpkins are in every color. So, and then I just used our stitched shapes, the largest square, I believe, to just make a little square of So Saffron. Again, I used that scalloped trim in terracotta tile. And I think it kind of turned out pretty cute. Just yellow inside, just So Saffron inside. Okay, so there's a couple of ideas for you with the pumpkin, right? Do you like one color combination better than the other? Do you like the peacock better than the Cajun, or vice versa? Anything? We're going to move on to the apple. Give me just a minute here to clear the decks. Not completely, but a little bit. Use my great chamois. If you don't have the chamois, you know you have to get it. It's it does not cost a lot, and it's a fantastic cleaning tool. It's the perfect thing. You just wet it with water. That's it. And then put it in one of our little, the case is sold separately, but it's one of our storage cases. So you're going to want to have some of those on hand anyway. And actually, if you buy the chamois from me, I send you the case. That's just a little thank you from me. So, okay, it is really storming here. And, oh gosh, okay, go bake your cake, Elizabeth. That sounds really fun. Okay, my gosh. Now we're going to move on to using the apple. And I'm not going to show you the card because I think it's really kind of cute. So I'm just going to surprise you with it at the end, okay? You're all right, Cassie. It's okay. Yeah, I got a dog trying to climb on me here. You're okay. Come on, get out of the way, please. It's all right, honey. We are going to bring in a couple of things for this. We're going to bring in the Stamparatus with Jen. Are you losing your mind right now? We're going to use the Buffalo Check stamp. That is a background stamp that is in the annual catalog. You will love it. And we are going to stamp onto a piece of Berry Vanilla. You're okay, honey. My little worry work Cash is, well, he's worried, obviously. Now, I just need to measure this. I did 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, so I didn't cut this, sorry, but we need a piece of vanilla that's 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm gonna get the trimmer out real quick, and we're gonna do that. And I just decided to use Berry Vanilla this time instead of white. We use white so much, and this actually, it kind of complements what we're doing. So I think that this is the best way to use the background stamps. Either that or just keep the background stamp directly into the case, And putting it on a block is really kind of difficult. Since now the Stamparatus does have magnets with it, but there's no place for me to put the magnet in this case because I want my piece of paper to be completely covered with the design. And that's why I just covered the back with a tiny piece of snail. And so that's going to just tack it down, okay? And it will keep in place just fine until we get it stamped. Now the background, the buffalo check background stamp, how do I say this very nicely? We've had a love-hate relationship, she and I, because when I first got her, the image didn't come across very cleanly. And yes, I tried all those tricks. I tried priming it with Versamark. I did incantations over it. I, gave it a hug, stuff like that. And I think finally just over time, it just got used enough. And then it was like, okay, we're going to absorb. So you can still see though, in fact, I got off a little bit and that's fine. We can just trim that off. But, some of the places that should be inked aren't fully inked. And really, that's part of the look of this. But I want it to be a little darker than that so I can get more of an impression. But it is a little bit of a workout. Ooh, so pretty. Okay, I think I like that pretty good. There's this one here that I wasn't in love with. Ooh, there. Okay. But see, it takes quite a bit of muscle. So, don't save that for the last thing you do during a day. Save it when you're right in the morning, nice and strong, had your breakfast. I make an L with washi tape to line up my cardstock. That's an excellent idea. Very excellent idea. Okay, again, the chamois comes in handy. And I just want to make sure I get the majority of it off right now. Because I'm not going to take the time to clean that while you're here. I have guests. I can't take the time to clean that. So I will do that later and then that will be okay. But in the meantime, we have this cute little piece of vanilla with Mango Melody Buffalo Check. It's adorable. And, when you stamp on vanilla, everything looks different, obviously, because it has a different base versus white. And Jen, I think you talked about this a little bit too last night. So we must just be in the same wavelength about mixing it up. I think this is really good. Okay, so I just trimmed off that part that fell outside of the card. And let's see here. Okay, now I need to get my card base, which is also Mango Melody. And what else do I want to show you right now? I'm really trying to hide from you, aren't I? We need these. These are the ornate frames. They are in the holiday catalog in the Halloween section. They're going to go great with all the beautiful, with the Halloween suite. And actually I am doing an online class and you can find some, I won't go through all the details about that right now, but basically it's free with purchase. And so it'll be an online class where we will make cards together and I will send you the supplies. And I will repost the information for that right after this live. But here's the Monster Bash suite. And it's so fun. Oh, if you love Halloween, or if you even like Halloween, then it's a good one. The frames, Jen, the frames. So they're ornate frame dice. There are 11 of them, $34, and they'll go with everything. They'll go with Christmas. They'll go with everything, right? So look at that. We're going to use this die tonight, and I'm going to show you how beautiful that is. and it pops out just fine. But you can put any kind of stamped images on this, or wouldn't it be fun to do the front of a card with just a bunch of these frames? You know, kind of like a take on decor where sometimes people will hang like a wall of frames. So I think this has like endless possibilities. I think you're going to want this in your stash, and it's something that should carry over. I hope it carries over to the annual catalog. Of course, I have no inside information on that, but I think this is really going to be a top seller. So we are going to cut something out from that, and we're going to cut it out in basic black. So I've got a little strip here. And again, it just goes in the die cutter. Real easy. Popped out nice and clean. And so I'll run this through real quick. And you guys can look at all those pretty frames. Think about all the possibilities, all the sentiments that would fit in there, all the little stamps that might fit in there. You know what I think would be fun is if you made a card for a friend, and then, okay, let's say your friend's name is Lisa, and you took the frames, and then inside every frame you put a different, you put the letter L in a different font, and then you put that on the front of a card and gave it to your friend. I think that would be really cool. I might have to do that now. I think that sounds good. Yeah, Myrtle, get the dies. I love them. I have the whole suite, but I love Halloween, and I also thought this was particularly a great suite of Halloween products. So I'm gonna have fun for a long time with the Halloween products, but the frames, they are extra special. They're really special. I can't choose a favorite. Let's see. And true to their name, they are ornate for sure. Okay, now what do we need? Now I'm going to bring in some real red. How about that? And let's see. Let's bring in some real red and stamp an apple because it's so cute. Like I told you, the punch or the stamps are the same shape for the apple as for the pumpkin. So it's super simple to just put the pumpkin away, grab the apple, and change your fruit. Well, no, change your vegetable to a fruit. Okay, so I want real red on real red in this case. Not getting real crazy, am I? Just real red on real red. But it gets better. Don't worry. It gets so cute. You guys, I'm so excited for you to see this finished. I made it and I even thought it was cute. You know, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. I think that's just what I said. I tested it out last night. Do you put wax paper over your stamps in the case? No, you know what that is? Wax paper would work, I think, at least for a little while. But, so I use magnet sheets from the company Stamp and Storage. And when they send those magnet sheets to me, they separate them with backing paper, with big sheets of backing paper, like the sheets that are, or like the backing paper that's on the back of the tear and tape, this. And so it's just completely slick on both sides. And so I just take those and I recycle them and use them as kind of separators for my stamps. So that's what I was using. Okay, now we are going to use some Cherry Cobbler Stampin' Ink. Okay, and I should also say, I'm so sorry, and I will post, this was not my idea. I saw this on the demonstrators planning place page, and if you are a demonstrator with Stampin' Up, you get access to that page. One more reason to be a demonstrator, right? But I took ideas from two other demonstrators. One